Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, has expressed deep reservations about former US President Donald Trump's ability to effectively negotiate with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Zelensky questions whether Trump truly understands Putin's mindset and motivations. He points to Trump's past dealings with Putin, where he believes Trump prioritized his own interests over those of the United States and its allies. Zelensky highlights Trump's failure to prevent Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, despite intelligence reports suggesting Putin's plans. For Zelensky, this demonstrates a lack of foresight and a failure to grasp the severity of the situation. Zelensky's skepticism stems from his belief that dealing with Putin requires a firm and unwavering stance. He argues that any sign of weakness or hesitation will be exploited by the Russian leader. In essence, Zelensky views Trump's approach to Putin as misguided and ultimately detrimental to Ukraine's interests. This perspective is rooted in Zelensky's first-hand experience of dealing with the realities of Russian aggression. The prospect of a future Trump presidency fills Zelensky with apprehension. He fears that such a scenario would embolden Putin and have a negative impact on the ongoing war in Ukraine. Zelensky argues that Trump's previous rhetoric and actions have already emboldened Putin, contributing to the current conflict. Zelensky worries that a Trump administration would be less likely to provide Ukraine with the necessary military and financial aid to effectively resist Russian aggression. This diminished support, he believes, could force Ukraine into making concessions to Russia, potentially including territorial concessions. Zelensky's concerns extend beyond the immediate impact on the war. He fears that a Trump presidency would signal to other autocratic leaders that the United States is an unreliable ally. This, he argues, could destabilize the international order and embolden authoritarian regimes globally. Essentially, Zelensky views a potential Trump presidency as a threat to Ukraine's future and a destabilizing force on the world stage. Zelensky has openly criticized Trump's statements regarding the war in Ukraine. He finds Trump's pronouncements to be detached from the realities of the conflict and disrespectful to the Ukrainian people. One particular point of contention is Trump's assertion that he could resolve the conflict within 24 hours. Zelensky views such statements as simplistic and indicative of a lack of understanding of the complex geopolitical factors at play. He argues that there are no easy solutions to the war and that Trump's rhetoric only serves to trivialize the immense suffering and sacrifice of the Ukrainian people. Furthermore, Zelensky sees Trump's rhetoric as potentially harmful to Ukraine's war effort. He believes that such pronouncements could undermine international support for Ukraine and give credence to Russian propaganda. In short, Zelensky believes that Trump's statements on the war are not only inaccurate but also potentially damaging to Ukraine's cause. His criticisms highlight the disconnect between Trump's rhetoric and the lived experiences of Ukrainians facing Russian aggression. Despite his concerns about Trump, Zelensky emphasizes the crucial importance of maintaining bipartisan support for Ukraine in the United States. He recognizes that U.S. assistance is critical for Ukraine's ability to defend itself against Russia. Zelensky acknowledges the broad support Ukraine has received from both Democrats and Republicans since the start of the conflict. He expresses gratitude for this support and stresses the need for its continuation. Zelensky understands that American politics can be divisive, but he urges U.S. lawmakers to set aside partisan differences when it comes to supporting Ukraine. He argues that a unified front from the United States is essential to deterring further Russian aggression and securing a just peace. Ultimately, Zelensky's message is clear. While he may have reservations about certain individuals, he recognizes the vital importance of continued bipartisan support from the United States in Ukraine's fight for freedom and democracy. It is crucial to remember that this essay presents Zelensky's perspective, and further research is needed to gain a comprehensive understanding of this complex issue.